Knowledge management is one of the emerging areas from a Gen AI perspective. Traditionally, the concept of knowledge management involves, as you can imagine, um, um, retrieving the information, organizing the information, and disseminating the information. Gen AI changes this paradigm completely. Whether it be best practices or whether it is providing a prescriptive recommendation based on a technical manual, or most importantly, preserving some of the expertise from retiring professionals so that the know-how is actually not lost, is something that Gen AI is really, really good at. Gen AI is really good at processing voluminous amount of information. So be it organizing your emails or providing a summary of the business, what is happening in the industry, and like say the business reports surrounding it, and even nudging you on some of the key compliance reminders is something that Gen AI is really, really good at. One more thing, with the concept of agents, you can even get a personalized experience so that it understands you very well, it knows your behavior very well, that it can actually give you the summary at the right time, at the right place. One of the things that you could do is the concept I call as AI agents, where what you could do is like you have a symbiotic relationship between a human being and that of a machine learning model, right? So you have an expert who basically constantly trains the model as how they are actually training someone who is actually new on the floor. And over a period of time, this model can learn not only from one expert, but from experts across the floor, so that this one model can serve as a knowledge repository for any newcomers, right? So in this way, you can actually free up the time and like say start having people focus more on the strategic actions and the decisions that are actually surrounding it, right? And then making sure that the knowledge is kind of preserved and the newbies who are actually on the floor can operate with the same level of efficiency as that of someone that is very experienced. Trust me when I say it, it is very, very easy. It's like a natural language processing. It's like you are interacting with a human. You go and ask basically, hey, I'm having an issue with this injection mold. It is actually not performing as expected. Can you please tell me what you need to do, right? It will be very conversational, it will be very interactive, and in moments, the person who is actually on the other side will be able to get answered in a very prescriptive way and able to act on it, right? And I also personally believe that it doesn't stop there. Keep the model training, right? Give your feedback back, give your response back, right? So that the model is constantly being trained, not just by the experts, but also by the person who was actually on the floor performing the operation. So there are two pieces, right? So one, if you think of it, customers are already asking to move away from those charts scoring through voluminous amount of information, and they don't want to find the needle in the haystack. They know the question for which they need answers to, so give me those answers right away, right? So that is one part, right? Alternatively, there are a few technicians or like say someone who's actually new on the floor, they don't even know what questions to ask in the first place, right? So Gen AI does a very excellent job in actually giving them those questions and answering even those questions, right? So that is one part of it. The other part, I call it as basically agents, right? When I talk about these agents, it's a multi-agent environment, right? Say for example, you have a Bob, you have a Joe, they have two separate functionalities, but Bob and Joe have to interact very frequently, right? Imagine like say Bob is basically saying, hey, I would want to place an order, and Joe has to basically place the order. Imagine that they have their own virtual assistants that can talk with each other and take care of the job. How much better like say Bob and Joe's life would look like in that world. Embracing Gen AI does not obviously come without any challenges, right? Three key areas. The first one is trust and explainability, right? Gen AI processes voluminous amount of information, but it is really not good at telling at how it arrived at a specific decision. Building something called as explainable AI and validation is going to be the key to build trust at all levels of organization. The second one is regulatory compliances. Be it GDPR or be it CCNA, these are actually non-negotiable for the manufacturing industry. So integrating these integrating these compliance in a legacy environment is always a little bit challenging and tricky. Finally, the most important thing is adoption and change management, right? People have to start looking beyond the horizons. They have to start thinking of how to disrupt the status quo, and that can happen only when constant upskilling is considered as one of the key pillars of any given organization. The key here is how do I leverage the already available technology so that I don't build something up from the ground, but without giving up on my data, right? So the technology has evolved actually so fast that you can leverage all of these large language models that are actually available out there, which takes billions of dollars to build, like say just like that at a fraction of a cost, right? And the data protection and data privacy is not considered as a second-class citizen anymore by anyone for that matter, right? Be it building a secure API or like say how you're actually going to create the data, and you just basically send the schema and then you get the access to whatever you want, right? And at the end of the day, like you process the data within your own compute environment without taking a hit from the fact that you don't have the technology or own that technology. GenAI is already there, agents are already there, digital twins are already there, right? The question really becomes what is the ecosystem that you're actually going to build with all of these technologies, right? One of the things that hasn't really explored yet, which I feel is something which has a strong potential in future, is what I call as emotional AI. Trying to understand who are the humans that you're actually interacting with, right? What are some of the safety measures that they need to keep into consideration? Are they wearing their hat? Are they wearing their glasses? Are they feeling tired? Are they feeling frustrated, right? So providing prescriptive recommendation based on that is going to be the future for manufacturing industry, is what I believe. I think multisensory agents is already there, in my opinion, if you kind of think of it. That's why I told, like, say, there's an ecosystem that you kind of need to think of it, right? The question becomes, like, say, how do you want to embrace this technology and how can you make faster decisions, keep your customers more happy, and also strive for highest level of operational excellence?